All right, here we go. So, this is the 18v18 tournament, phase 3 of season 0. If you are unfamiliar, Hell Let Loose is usually a 50v50 game with the entire map open. 18v18 is a kind of like a subset of that, where we're fighting over 1 point, 2 sides. They have garrisons 150 meters from the active sector. The other team is going to be over here on their garrisons. It's at half cap to keep it a little bit even. And at the start time, which is 5 seconds ago, they launch towards the middle. All right, some opening shots. Doesn't get anyone. Those have been pretty much the closest that I've seen from pretty much anyone. So this is going to be in Group B. So it's going to be really interesting. So VLK, I'm pretty sure, previously has 2 victories so far in Phase 3. In 1AD, I think this is their first match of Phase 3. I could be wrong, though, but I checked the standings, and they just haven't been updated yet. Apologize if I'm wrong. So this is going to set the tone in terms of if they have to play in the play-in to qualify for playoffs, or if they just automatically qualify. So quite a lot on the line here. Interesting spread from 1AD, almost no one on this kind of top side of the map here. A little bit concerned by that. We got some good MG sprays. Patronus is getting into that building to get that nice crossfire going. Both VLK and 1AD have an MG shooting straight down the road, but no one is really challenging that too hard. VLK is having an easier time getting to the hard cap. 1AD is kind of milling around a little bit behind those bushes. I think Patronus is really suppressing them pretty well. Yep, getting a couple here. SL versus SL. I think he hears him. I think Brian hears Assad. Alright, kills him. He should know he's there. You heard the shot. He's not looking for him. Gets taken out by GG, though. Wow, the OP's right there. That was pretty risky, but I like this a lot. Trying to collapse in, or trying to play hard on this on the side, though. But D-word Felker pushing through. Wow, really good push here. Straight up the middle. 1AD was not ready for that. Now D-word. Oh man, you just gotta get down. Wow, they can't get him. Yeah, he's hurt though. Huge takeout. I'm assuming that took an OP. There's no MG back here. Huge play off the start. D-word, just look down this hedgerow. You're gonna get all of them. Where are you running? Turn around. Oh man, they're just all down that hedgerow. They're all behind you. I know he's trying to get the people who are coming back from what he just cleared, but I mean, just ping, ping, ping. This is just easy shots here. I mean, at least go over here to try to take out their OP. There you go. So it's not worth it. Let me go for my OP. So VLK is going to get it off the start. MAJK. I know these guys are Czech and Slovakian. I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry. I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing any of these names, so I apologize in advance. Brian here is just off the edge. Yeah, he's out of bounds right now. Brian! He's going further out of bounds. He should be kicked soon. I'm doing the job of the refs right now. There you go. He's out of here. Good job from the refs. We're kind of just following around D-word. Why are you going out of bounds? He's gonna get kicked as well. What are they doing? Oh my god, does he? I think he got in time. Just in time. I think his team will scream it at him. I guess we'll see in a moment if he gets kicked. I wasn't counting. But they took out the OP here, so that's 2 OPs cleared pretty quickly. VLK just has complete control of the headspace over here. They're able to push across this field. There's 1 OP left in this area that they know of. It feels like at this point it's a matter of time before they pressure in. They have to play really well to be able to defend that. So we know there's 2 OPs down. Or 1 was taken down recently. 1 they had to come back. I would like them to be a little bit more aggressive, pushing up through the middle right here. There's no reason not to take, absolute control over this area. I wouldn't push the OPs up though. 18v18 OPs are super incredibly important. If your team has to run an extra 10 seconds on every death, who cares? That's not a big deal. Having to completely reset is way more important. I wouldn't mind getting an OP up here in this trench. I mean, you have pretty good control at this point. But the one in the middle, definitely keep over there. Definitely keep that back over there. I wouldn't push across. So 1AD has their work cut out for them to try to push through this back. VLK has been doing really well. Started in Group D. They've had a lot of fun matches to watch. So I wish they were able to get into Group A so that we could play them. It could be fun, but we'll play them in playoffs, I would assume. Getting around them, yeah. 1AD just doesn't have that great of a spread with their infantry out right now. It seems like they're having a little bit of hard time communicating between the squads of who's covering what angles. At a certain point, the squad needs to be thinking together. They need to be opening up their maps. Where are, the other people in my squad? Where in the conjunction to me? Where are they looking? And then if they go down, you need to communicate, hey, there's no one watching our map edge flank. Because right now these guys are kind of just pinching in, and, DivImp isn't looking, or no, he's just looking now, but they're able to exert a lot more pressure than maybe they should. D-Word's just pushing straight across right now. I mean, at this point, these guys are crossing over. I would be very comfortable putting up an OP at this point over there. And this is kind of the issue with this map, is that if you get pushed out initially, it's really hard to come back. And when you come back, you really feel like you want to keep all 3 OPs here. But you need a squad making sure they can't just push straight in, because once they do that, they're going to set up a crossfire, and it's just going to be over. I know that 1AD was holding their OP up right here initially. Once they were getting really pressured in, I'm sure the SL was trying to run and get back there. What you'll see a lot of the more experienced teams do is that the SL will realize that, hey, there's no way that I can get out of this position. I'm going to spawn on the garrison and run back and hope that I can get the OP up in time before they take it out, so that there's no, lost up time for your squad. But at this point, VLK is really just dominating the gunfights. I mean, look at their spread. They have defense in depth. They have people pushing. They have people holding on the sides. They have MGs providing covering fire. I would like Larry to push up at this point. I don't think he's really hitting anything or even suppressing much at this point. What did it start? 105? It's nice to see newer teams. I've actually never heard of VLK before this tournament, So it's really, really nice to see them doing a good job and making more of a name for themselves in this format and getting comfortable. I like to see them. I don't know how big their community is, but I definitely like to see them grow and see them get on the 50v50 stages. Oh, not every community wants to do that, but it's always nice to have more teams playing. So 1AD up on this top side of the map right now has pretty much complete control of the compound. They are playing a little bit passive though. We see 5 guys just kind of just sitting there and taking angles. Okay, so they got the one close. Okay, maybe they're just waiting for their MG to get back up. Okay, yeah, Riot and the other guy get killed. And I think they got that OP up. Or I think they got that OP just behind that building over there. I mean, not to say that it's impossible for 1AD back, but at this point it's becoming increasingly difficult as they're getting squeezed into their positions. They're getting cleared out farther and farther. VLK is their defense in depth is getting longer and longer. Wow, in VLK, Potkan in Benny just clearing guys out up there. This OP is going to be under threat in a little bit. So it's just outside of the sector. They can go in for 10 seconds to try to wipe the OP. I would be definitely in fan of that. Even if you get kicked from the server, you just have to rejoin. It's well worth it to take out an OP. You can absolutely push out for 10 seconds and just try to hope for it if you know it's right there. And they mark it, so they know it's there. I'm sure they're trying to get their rocket guy to get a shot out on it. So let's discuss for a moment what went wrong. Okay, so in terms of the opening, they had something really promising over here. A good push, but it got taken out from behind. They weren't winning enough gunfights through the side. And then over here, they just had people run straight through from VLK to take out 1AD's positions. I know this is a kind of a harder area to maneuver because, you know, if we don't know someone's right here and they push across, get 2 kills, they can wipe out the OP. I'd probably be in favor of moving. You don't want it inside of this house because that's where the MG was. But I would definitely want the OP a little bit farther. I wonder if it's even valuable to put it back there. I also felt like they needed an MG over here somewhere. Whether at this angle or somewhere else. If they looked at other VODs, they would definitely see where some of the MG positioning was to establish this crossfire. Because once you get into this hardpoint here, if you're shooting all the way around here, VLK was just able to run for free through here. And you can never allow someone to do something for free. Or, you know, try your hardest to get around it. So I'd say that's what initially went wrong for 1AD. VLK was able to take advantage of those openings, and you know, they won a lot of gunfights. Their infantry was pretty crafty on getting in. And now at this point, 1AD has pushed a little bit along the map edge where they weren't paying attention too much. Vanilla gets 2 kills. The hit fire from Gideon gets him. Alsep dies. There's a 1v1. Kills them. I think there's going to be a spawn first. Wow, only one. Push it. Man, you know there's a spawn back here. VLK is trying to collapse back in a little bit. So this is going to take a lot of energy away from VLK to deal with this. We see a pretty heavy spawn. Arlen just gets him, yeah. Whoa! Man, I think this is the highest I've ever seen. This is all the way up in Admincam. Oh no. Alright. Okay, so VLK has a little hiccup. 1AD is able to get a good push going, but VLK is able to respond pretty well because they have that defense in depth. They weren't too risky with their outposts. They kept it up pretty well. VLK on this top side of the map right now, or top side of the screen, pushing through. They're right on the map edge right now. Botcan, just make a run, get the OP, and you're good. There's no reason not to. But otherwise, they're kind of just farming them from this compound now. It's going to be insanely difficult to get VLK out of this area unless someone makes a hero play. Or they just start out-fragging everyone. I mean, the OP's right there. There they go. They got it. Farming them in the trench. MG providing good cover from behind. I love it. 1AD is able to get a couple kills, so it doesn't matter. OP's already dead. Spawning back. That's camped by the MG. Something I would definitely like for maybe like season 1 or whatever for the invitational is, I think it would be nice for the teams to decide wherever along this line, as long as it's 150 meters. Because getting it right here, I mean, this is just so brutal. I mean, the MG's right here. Probably picks off Riot, I would think, unless Larry's looking a different way right now. But I mean, imagine the garrison was over here. Just makes it much easier. Just a thought. Or maybe allow them to build barricades in front of it or something like that. I don't know. But on the other hand, you could just say, you know, get good at the game. And you got to fight your way off. And, you know, it sucks to be pinched in. But if they're able to push you that far back, then I don't know. I mean, ideally, teams would be playing a little bit more conservative, or a little bit slower in positions like this over here from 1AD, or something like over here, to prevent their garrisons from being camped. But if, you know, you're struggling to, you know, hold your position, then it's kind of untenable. Anyway. I don't know. I don't know what the perfect solution for that is. Or if a solution is even needed. Because I think the thing we've seen with a lot of maps here is that, right, there's the central area to fight over. You kind of have one layer that you can get pushed back to. Right, so if they clear you once, you get pushed back to this compound. If they clear you from, you know, here or here, you get pushed back to over here, to, you know, to that house, these walls, this hedge line. And then if you get cleared again, you know, there's not enough room, and then you're basically right at the line. So I mean, this happens on a lot of maps. You really have two clear opportunities, or kind of two lines of defense after the midpoint. And once you get pushed back from 2 of them, you know, you're just kind of screwed because you don't have any more room to give up. But if a team is just, you know, they're out fragging, they have the better tactics, they have the better communications, then, you know, they're going to push you back anyway. I think 1AD has gone 3 squads down here, it looks like. Yeah. Brian, Slayer, and Space Marine. You have Admincam causing a little bit of a ruckus up there, I'm assuming, taking pot shots every once in a while. Larry's just looking down the map now, cross-firing. Great. I think Larry's positioning has been really solid so far from an MG perspective, so props to him. D-Word had that great play at the beginning as well. Pushing through, getting deep, getting an OP. You know, 1AD is putting up a fight, though, so definitely props to them for sticking with it. This is a really grindy area. I mean, we just see how many VLK. There's 2 squads over here just sitting on these walls and sitting on the hedge line. They are making a little bit of progress on the bottom side of the map right now, or bottom side of the screen. You know, Genset's using his MG to shoot down the road, but I really haven't seen too much VLK just take the road. It seems like you know, want to be shooting into the areas that your squad is pushing through to support them, because right, if he was being able to shoot at Gideon and Al-Sad right now, they wouldn't be able to see anything, right? MG42 is just going to spray them. Even if you're spraying over the hedge or through the hedge, and you're not hitting anyone, you know, you're going to give your team the advantage for actually taking the kills or getting the gunfights. One's already pushed across as Brian. Check him out. Hit fires, great shots. Oh my god, the miss! He's refresh. He takes out the pistol, almost gets him. Okay, 1AD is getting a little bit of pressure on the side. They're breaking through a little bit. I would like the squad. I mean, they're not pushing too well. I'd really like them to just try to shove 2 squads up here. Just go for the numerical advantage. Just try to push here, because otherwise, VLK, at least so far this match, has been winning the majority of the gunfights, or at least like on a 1-to-1 basis when you're evenly matched. So you got to try to, you know, make it uneven. Have only a couple people hold, you know, the full squad that's over here. They're not pushing out, or they're not going to be able to, or it's going to be hard. And then just have 2.5 squads pushing through here. You know, it's not much of an advantage, but at this point you got to do something like that. So they're concerned that people are over here on this hedge, but because this team is being a little bit slower and not pushing through, you know, he wasn't aware that no one was really over here. Yeah, they definitely know that guy's in that house. gets taken out by the MG from Gideon. They're just getting crossfired by Fetcher. SL's trade. Just a little bit confused at what these guys are doing here. Nice shot onto Gideon from Devimp. Now he's just going to push across this open fields. I think he's going to get picked off though, but... Have a bit of smoke. Yeah, gets taken out from the side. There's just not enough crossfire to support a push like that. I think if VLK is able to close it out, they'll be able to get a guaranteed spot in the playoffs instead of the play-in. So definitely looking forward to VLK's matches against specifically who's in Group A right now, the 5 teams. Because I think it'll be interesting to see how they match up against some of the more experienced groups. In 1AD, this isn't over for them. They can, I think they still have, like I said at the beginning of the match, I think they still have 3 more games in this phase. So, it'll be interesting to see if they can turn it around and secure a playoff spot, or, at worst they have to go into the play-ins, so. How many here's everyone? Oh, this guy's definitely out of bounds. Captain Nash, where are you going, buddy? Trifid comes up like a scarecrow, gets 2 kills. Now he knows there's a bunch of people behind him. I'd be happy to just pinch back at this point, but around 2 minutes left. Unless there is a really good push, I mean, 1AD does get a little bit of ground here in the middle. This is what I was talking about earlier. I'd really just like 2 squads push up here. 1 squad play screen and just try to punch through a little bit. They're getting a little bit of space. Space Marine needs to get his OP up. VLK is behind him though, so I fear that even if they do get the OP and they get some spawns, they can just collapse back in. But this is kind of their last-ditch effort, and they're definitely making some progress here. Alright, well, they definitely know they're there now. OP's right there. They're gonna camp it. Oh, they're camping it. You dirty bastards. Firing line. Gets the OP. Clears them out. Just needs to pull people back for a moment while they walk through. So, great job from VLK. I think that's pretty much going to be it. 30 seconds left. Impossible unless they start turning on the walls or something. But great performance from VLK. 1AD put up a pretty solid fight at the kind of midpoint. I would say post 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. They were putting up a pretty decent fight, and were trying to just grind that front line. VLK was able to be pretty slippery and just knock out a couple OPs, push them farther back, and then just gradually we're winning the gunfights. I think for 1AD, the thing to focus on is I always like to preach that within a squad you need pushers and you need campers. You can't have you can't have your squad all be one type. You need, pretty much half and half. So when your squad, there's only 3 people left, in a position, you all need to be camping and holding your position. You don't want to push. You're waiting until the rest of your squad spawns up, and then pushing forward. Vice versa, if all 6 are up, like we saw a couple times, the whole squad was up in a certain position, and they're kind of just holding. They're not pushing too well. At that point, you need to be trying to take the gunfights and try to trade out the enemy. Still